What is up, everybody? It's the Stacking Kid here today with another video. And today we're going to be talking about, is silver a good investment? So at the current spot price of $14.78 on Christmas Eve's Eve, so the Sunday before Christmas of 2018, right now I'm talking about, is silver a good investment, and is it good to own silver? Okay, to get it started off, as you can see right here, during the financial crisis, when everybody didn't know what to do, they were all going towards silver. So this was, in my opinion, market manipulation. As the crash started, I think they knew the crash was coming, and as soon as the crash started right here, as you can see that little bump. Then through market manipulation, it went all the way down to around $8. And then as soon as market forces couldn't, as soon as they couldn't hold it back, they really tried. Then it just shot to the moon and came down because everybody's like, "Oh, we have faith in the dollar now." And the government bailing out banks, not the government, a private bank, the Federal Reserve bailing out the banks. But in financial collapses, silver tends to go up in value whenever people lose all their money. And so in the case of a financial collapse, silver goes up, and that's just basically a fact. So yeah, and you guys might say that silver's at a pretty high value right here, but when you look at the silver to gold ratio, right? Sorry about that. The silver to gold ratio right now is at right now it's at 86. Think about that, guys. 86. It takes 86 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. Now, throughout time, the average, here, I might be able to find this. No, I put it down. But the average has been around 60 in the past, since 1980, I want to say. Been around 60 to 50, in that range, which is reasonable. It's still really high, but it's reasonable. And that silver would be around $40, which would make more sense. And yeah, just make a lot more sense. But I still think that silver could go higher, as silver is found in the Earth's crust at around a 10-to-1 ratio to gold, meaning for every 10 ounces of silver you find about 1 ounce of gold in the ground. Roughly. Obviously, this changes from place to place, and do not take this as fact. I've just heard this and read this in multiple places. But some people even say that there should be a 1-to-1 ratio, which I don't entirely agree with. I don't think that'll ever happen, and if it does, I'm happy. I have silver, so I'm good. But I don't think it'll ever happen, and here's why. Because here's why I don't view that as ever happening, is because people will never view silver and gold as the same value, because everybody views gold as a higher value. Everybody views gold as worth more. It will never be worth a lot more than gold. In my personal opinion. I mean, it could happen. Anything can happen in this world. But yeah, I just don't view that as a possibility. But I can see silver going to anywhere between a 15-to-1 and a 25-to-1 ratio within the next 30 to 40 years. Because, and this is because I see that in many countries, their currency is being devalued by the minute. And more and more countries are falling into this hole, and inflation rate is rising higher and higher as the Federal Reserves and, the central banks of every country is printing more and more. We're going to see a collapse of our fiat currency and our fake beliefs in the dollar, which I'm not 100% sure of happening. But in the case that it does happen, and this is the best part about silver, it's a safe haven investment. So in the case of that happening, silver will be used as currency, and in a rebuttal that people say, but silver is worthless. It's just on how we view it. Okay, I'm sorry for making that imitation. I'm sorry. But when people say that, I respond to that. I respond to that with, I understand where you're coming from, right? Because it is based on our beliefs. And it's not entirely based off of fact that it's valuable. It doesn't have uses like that. But in this modern day of world that that it's used in technology so much, it's being used more and more, it's going to be viewed as a currency because it's precious, it's rare. And throughout time, it has always been viewed as money. And it won't be that hard for people to review it as money. But yeah, I get where they're coming from. And one of my teachers, okay, I was talking to this one time, and she said, if we had 10 ounces of gold, and you gave 1 ounce to each citizen of a town, which 10 people, then 5 more people came in, what are you gonna do? Well, then I didn't get to respond to her because class ended and I had to go. Class was across the school, and what I really wanted to say was that then the value will go up. The people will therefore have more value in it. People will want to use gold more because they see that it's going up in value, which will end up causing some people to work even harder to get their gold. And the value will just go up. Much better than deflation. Much better than inflation, where the value goes down and you lose your money. That's what I wanted to tell her, but I didn't think of it at the time. And so that's kind of sucks. But yeah, guys, so in my opinion, silver is a good investment. It's a good long-term investment, especially if you're my age, 12. But even if you're in your 40s, 50s, silver is a very good investment. Now, if you're very close to retirement and you want something to put your money in so inflation doesn't affect it, put it into some stocks and gold. Put it about 50-50, and I'd say, well, at least in this point in time. Later on later on, you could put a bit more in stocks, or in some cases a bit more in gold, depending on your situation. So thank y'all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope y'all enjoy this video, and check out the rest of my videos. It's all silver stacking. And I want to thank all you that already have subscribed. Thank you guys very much, and goodbye.